If I was at a conference, bro, and they wanted me to talk about greatness, bro, I will put your picture up. But before I put your picture up with your cars and your beautiful family and y'all traveling to Dubai, you know what I would show them?
Yeah.
I would show them the junk removal truck you had.
Yeah.
I would show them the food truck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would show them the Neo that was happy to make $30,000 a year. And I would talk about all your work, all the sacrifice, the sleepless nights. I would talk about, yeah, you see his wife now, he blessed his wife with a new Lambo truck and all this stuff, but you didn't see when they were sleeping in the truck together, when they were struggling, you know what I'm saying, when you was cleaning toilets for private jet companies, but now you flying private jets. The cost of greatness. And that's what people don't see.
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome back to an episode of Circle of Greatness. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and today is about to be special. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I got one of the best speakers in the world. Not only is he a brother of mine, a friend of mine, but this guy is leading the charge on helping people get paid as top-notch speakers and turning your pain into purpose. Without further ado, man, I gotta bring on my brother, Jeremy Anderson. What's up, dog?
Man, blessed, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, amazing, bro.
Good to see you, boy.
It's so funny, man. It's just like, I remember I used to watch you. You had a Sprinter with your face on, like you going around the world, like impacting people.
Right.
And it's always dope for me to literally see the people online and then they actually become a real friend.
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I mean? Like,
Straight up.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm
no
saying?
doubt.
So, and I just got to give this guy thanks. And this has nothing to do with business, y'all. But my man gave me my nanny.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm talking about he
Game
went and did the due diligence. He's about to hire 2 nannies. Like, bro, I got 2. You could get 1. And that has been a huge game changer for our family to have somebody to help take care of our kids,
Let me tell you something. But I think that goes to speak to the importance of the people within your circle.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? And really the overflow.
Yeah.
Right. So often we talk about getting in the room, connecting with the right people.
Yeah.
You know, your proximity equals your velocity, but the reality is who you connected to. There are certain blessings and things that they have that they're going to give to you. Yeah. You've added massive value to my life. I've done the same for you. Yeah. And I literally went through the whole interview. We got a whole blueprint process and had 2 phenomenal nannies. And I was talking to my wife like, maybe we just hire one to just cook and clean and one to just take care of the kids. And we was like, but we don't really need both because our kids be in school. Yeah. And Holy Ghost was like, Neo. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, and she's still with you a year later.
Crazy. It's been
a year, yeah.
But it was 2 by now, but yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, but it's been good.
Yeah,
I never heard that proximity equals velocity.
Yeah, your proximity equals your velocity.
That, bro? Because I keep harping on letting people know that. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so for me, it's been a game changer. You're like who I surround myself with, where I place my energy, and where I place my ears. I tell people all the time, consider the source, right? Steve Harvey said it to me one time. Steve was like, don't share your $1 million dreams with $50 mindsets. Like certain people, you got to be very intentional about where you lend your ear. And so your proximity equals your velocity, who you're around, who you spend your time, your energy with, who you allow to influence your moves, your decision making determines how successful you're going to be in life. And that's not even just in business, that's in life, that's in marriages, that's in relationships. Yeah. Like I've got some mentors I get advice from when it come to marriage, but I wouldn't talk to them when it come to business. Yeah. I got some advice where I say, okay, how can I get to 8 figures a year, but I'm not gonna go to you about being a good father. It's just because there are certain people that are special in certain areas. So I'm intentional about where I put my energy and what I allow my brain and mind to absorb.
Yeah, that's good. I be telling people like, yo, one of the most important things you're going to do is the people you surround yourself with and the info that you putting in your brain. Like
absolutely.
Like that is so powerful. Like my man was saying, yo, this is going to be my last this. I'm like, be careful with them words. Like there's certain words that I don't even say because everything that I've spoken over my life is now manifested.
Right.
Whether good or bad.
Straight up.
So I'm very particular about that.
Straight up. Yeah. And my man Crump, that's my right-hand man. He's the director of our Next Level Speakers Academy. He told me a year ago, he was like, bruh, I don't even want you in meetings. I want you hanging with your friends, masterminds, reading books, like going to conferences. Yeah. Like as the leader, you got to absorb as much game, as much knowledge, and bring it back to us, and we're going to execute the game plan. Yeah. So yeah, who is in your circle, make sure they great. Shout out to Circle of Greatness.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts, bro. Yeah. So one of the things I think I want to do, I treat every one of the pods now really like a master class. Like I want somebody to leave here with the game for them to get to the next level. And normally, David told me be selfish and share pretty much, like get all the info to help me. But this episode,
right.
I want to help somebody be able to turn their pain into purpose through speaking. And then I also want to know how, my speaking engagements are more so, they're different how I do. Mine is more so partnerships and different things like that. I'm speaking for friends.
Right.
But even game that I could use for me to become a better speaker.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of walk through that, bro. You help a lot of people become 6 and 7 figure speakers.
Yes.
And what is the mindset of, a lot of people don't believe you can turn your story into, and you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, 13 years.
13 years
Yep.
you've been speaking
Yep.
professionally. It's not you told me this story how somebody was online teaching people how to become a full-time speaker. But as soon as he finished doing that video, he had to throw the T-Mobile shirt on or something like that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
this is something you eat, something you dream, something you live. You
Yeah.
really live this life, bro.
sure.
So let's walk through that, man.
Yeah, so I tell people all the time, man, it's really actually easier to become a 6-figure professional speaker than you think. You know what I'm saying? That's just $8,400 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just 2 gigs at $4,200.
Yeah.
And the average speaker in America that speaks for elementary, middle school, or high school gets between $2,500 and $5,000 per gig. That's with little to no experience. That means you ain't big time, you ain't got a big brand like that. That's just the average thing. So when I talk to people and they're like, man, I want to be a professional speaker, I want to get out here, I want to help share my message. Like, is it really possible for me? I'm like, yeah. But it really goes down to, do you believe? Like, do you believe it's possible for you? Do you believe that you have a story and a message worthy of sharing it? Do you believe that you're an expert in your field? And I tell people all the time, you might not be an expert when it comes to science, or you might not be an expert when it comes to nutrition, but you're an expert when it comes to your pain. Like, I be telling folk, like, can't nobody tell you, you know what I'm saying, how you should feel. You was the one that was molested. Like, you was the one that your house went through foreclosure. You was the one diagnosed with cancer. Like, you was the one that saw your loved one get murdered. Like, you were the one that went through that pain. You were the one that went through that divorce. You were the one that failed over and over again. You were the one that had to overcome addiction. So I tell people all the time, like, there's a purpose for your pain.
Yeah.
Right? But people don't always see that. People's like, I went through so much. And I'm like, I did the training, bro. And I ask people, like, tell me, how many of y'all have feel abandoned? How many of y'all have feel betrayed? How many of y'all have been miserable? How many of y'all have been broke? Your body broke, your bank account broke, you know what I'm saying? Your spirit broke. They were like, me. I'm like, do you realize how powerful you are?
Yeah.
After all you've gone through, after all you've experienced, there is so much power and greatness inside you because you're still here. Because you didn't quit. You didn't surrender. You survived. And now people will pay you because they're trying to figure out resiliency.
Yeah.
So they pay me top dollar, $30,000, $40,000 to step on stage and speak and just share my heart. This is stuff I would do for free.
Yeah.
Like, I got one gig, they pay me $50,000, bro, for 30 minutes on stage. I would have gave that message for free, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I built a career, and now you don't pay me for my message, you pay me to lead my family. I love my family, bro.
Yeah.
You already know. You know how we do. Our kids be swimming and playing together. Like, you don't pay me for my message, my speech, my pain. You pay me to lead my family. So I show people how to build up their message, their story, their brand, so they can impact and change lives, but also make all their dreams come true.
That's good. So what is it like? Everybody need to develop a signature speech like that you could go. So talk me through that. So step one in the process is, how am I finding these clients to pay me for this? And am I presenting the same thing to everybody? Like, talk to me about that.
So it's funny, man. Shout out to E.T., a mentor to both of ours, the #1 motivational speaker in the world. I remember one time E was like, man, this organization going to pay him like this is years ago. He charges $200,000 or more now. But they was going to pay him like $75,000. And he was like, bro, they said, when you come, can you give us the guru story? And he was blown away. He was like, you can find this story on YouTube. But people is like, but I want the story like live here in the moment. And that just let me know like the power of your story. So I tell people, you only need to have one signature message. And I look at that like the tree trunk, the foundation of your message. Then you can add on the branches and other things later, but you need to have that foundational story of what you've gone through, what you overcome, what you experienced, how you made it over, and give the people 4 to 5 principles on what they can do to apply that information to change their lives. And so it can be as simple as that. And then you get into corporate, you get into training, you get into keynote presentation, workshop facilitators. Like, it's so many different approaches to take. But I tell people to create that one signature message. And so we got keynote writing coaches that guide our people. We got courses that show people how to put it together. But the important thing people got to know is, one, you got a story, you got a message. 2 people need to hear it, and they will pay you top dollar for your message and your story. Now, some of the things that will put people on the right path: website, branding, logos, EPK, video speaker reels, right? So those are some different things that they can have.
That's
in
the
place.
framework, the basis.
That's the
that
framework,
you need.
right? So if somebody came to me and said, okay, Jeremy, give me the 5-step process of what I should do, I would say, come up with your signature message, give us 5 to 6 takeaway points, things that you're going to teach and train on. For me, and when I was in schools, I'm in corporate now, but when I was in schools, it might have been more so resiliency, mindset, attitude, hard work, sacrifice. Those are the principles. If I'm speaking in a university or at a high school, like, those are some of the things that I will continue to reinforce. Once you have that, now you put together an EPK, which is like a simple PDF that has your picture, the topics you discuss, a short bio, just something that you can email the people to let them know who you are. The next step now will be a website. You build out a full website, get somebody to do it on Fiverr or Squarespace. High quality images will be a game changer for the website. Now, all these different opportunities you get to speak, you want to maximize those and get it filmed, get it recorded, different pieces of content put together. You walking into the company, you speaking, shaking hands, clips of you speaking on stage and talking to the people afterwards. Then you have your team put together a demo reel. Let me tell you something, bro. I got one guy, my man lives in South Carolina, 26 years old. He followed the exact blueprint I gave him, bro. He's not even deep like that. He like, Jeremy, I watch your stuff. I do everything you tell me to do. Bro, my man getting $17,000 speaking engagements, bro. My man making $24,000 a week just speaking, just changing lives.
Yeah.
And he in schools.
Yeah.
He with middle schools and high schools, and he killing it. And my man like 26, 28 years old. And this one made me think, man, what kind of life you gonna grow up living?
Yeah.
What kind of life your kids gonna have when you making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month from speaking? Like, what kind of life? And then what level he gonna be on when he 30?
Yeah.
And when he 35 and when he 40?
Yeah.
My man didn't even crack 30 yet, but he ran the play. EPK, website, video reel. And I reference him because I see the way he took a whole bunch of clips from previous engagements, went and found a videographer, paid him, put all of it together. Bro, my man looked like the LeBron James of speaking in schools.
Crazy.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm watching his video. It's like 4 minutes long. He on different stages. They catching drone shots. Like, he's investing in his business.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
so it's a game changer, bro.
I gotta ask you a question because
Yeah.
I think this could help me. I talked to Marcus Waroja, Darius Daniels, E.T., right? You. And one thing that I do, I'm giving you the same speech when I go. I really do mine around sales, though, really helping people drive a specific result, right? So I don't take a lot of engagements. Like, it gotta be, I'm doing it for a friend, or the check gotta be right.
Right, for sure.
But what's the framework to being able to develop more speeches? Like, you get where's I'm not saying the same stuff each time. Every time, like a pastor every Sunday, Darius got a new message for you.
Every Sunday.
Jake's got a new, I'm like, how are y'all developing?
Right.
What what is, how are you sitting down? What is the framework to developing a new message? Are you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, so I tell people this all the time. If you
And this for me, like I got to develop more messages.
So let me give you 4 pieces in order for you to give a real powerful speech.
Yeah.
To give a real powerful speech. REAL. The R stands for relatable. You got to come off as relatable. So when I take the stage, I don't talk about the wealth, the success, the travel. I don't talk about that. When I take the stage, I'm like, look, I grew up without my biological father, a repeated failure in school, 3 different schools for the 9th grade, a diagnosis of ADHD, you know what I'm saying, drug and alcohol abuse. Like, I'm talking about all my failures. I'm like, but look at me now. Instantly, people feel like they can relate to that, because they might not be able to relate to the lifestyle I'm living in, the countries I'm traveling to, and how I get to travel. They can't relate to that, but they can relate to failure. They can relate to pain. So if you want to give a real powerful speech, the R is for relatable. The E is you got to bring out emotions. So when you're speaking, like, if you're passionate, be passionate. But if you're telling a sad story, like, your voice should reflect the emotions, right? The A stands for action. Give people a clear plan of action to what they should do next in order for them to be able to go to that next level. Like, what are the takeaways and then the lesson? If you want to give a real powerful speech, REAL, the L is for lesson. With every loss, there's a lesson. With every lesson, there's a blessing. And I tell people, like, make sure your audience understands what that lesson is so that now they know, okay, this is what I want to do. So for everybody that's tapped in with you, bro, they got to know in order to give a real powerful speech, it's got to be relatable. You got to bring out emotions, a clear plan of action, and give them the lesson. Now, to further answer your question, how do you switch it up and create something new? It really depends on your gift and talent. Because some people, it's just like, I'm going to stick with my one signature move. There are some people that's like that. Dirk Nowitzki had that one little fadeaway shot. But then you got those like MJ, you know what I'm saying, like LeBron, that can do a number of different things. You know what I'm saying? They can dunk. They can shoot the three ball. They getting rebounds. They got assists. And so that's for a special group of people that have to learn that gift over time. So let me tell you what I mean. So I spoke for this event, and I talked about the cost of greatness. And you know what I mentioned? Ooh. Yeah, the cost of greatness. And what I went to is I was like, everybody wants to be great, but everybody don't want to do what it takes to be great. And so I was like, let's just focus on Jamie Foxx, right?
Hey, thank you so much for tuning in this episode. I hope you're getting extreme amount of value. I want you to go ahead and comment below. Share with me your biggest takeaway. In addition to that, my number one goal is for me to be able to grow all of my social platforms so I can give you info, insight, strategy, and gain from every platform there is. So take a minute to follow me on Instagram at Nehemiah Davis. So same exact name on Twitter, same exact name on TikTok, and follow me on LinkedIn at Nehemiah Davis. I would love for you to be able to be tuned into my articles and everything that I drop relating to helping you get to that next level in your life. Tune in.
And I said, we look at Jamie Foxx and how he did Ray, and it was like, man, he's winning Academy Awards and everything, and everybody's celebrating Jamie Foxx. But what they didn't see, it wasn't just his acting. It wasn't just his performance. It was what he had to endure. My man put the prosthetic eyes on that made him blind for 16 hours a day. Bro, they only filmed for 8 hours a day.
Wow.
But he made himself physically blind for 16 hours a day because he was like, I want to embody Ray Charles. So I tell them, like, when I was on the stage, I was like, are you willing to do that? Some of y'all will just put it on or just close your eyes and kind of act blind. But my man was like, no. Even when it's time for break and we do craft services is like the food company that provides food for movies. I produced a movie, well, we funded a movie a few years ago, and that was, craft services is expensive too anyway. But that's something, but my man is literally trying to eat tuna sandwiches while he's blind. Wow. That's the cost of greatness. So when you see him winning the Academy Award, you already know why. Then I talked about Leonardo DiCaprio. Remember that movie, The Revenant? When my man was like out in the wilderness, out in the woods, it was snowing, it was cold. So in my speech, I referenced that because Leonardo DiCaprio was eating real liver, real animal liver, raw. He didn't have to do that, bro. Yeah. He one of the best actors in the world. He could have had whatever cuisine. My man was like, no, I'm about to really eat this liver. I want to embody it. My man slept in the dead carcass of an animal. He didn't have to do that, bro.
Wow.
But when they like cut, everybody go home. They go back to their trailer. They go back to their hotel. My man was like, no, tonight I'm going to put some fur around me. I'm about to sleep in the dead carcass. Bro, the cost of greatness. Yeah. And so that's what I would do. What I just did right there, you paint a picture. It don't even always have to be about you. It can be about someone else, something else you saw that you experienced. So I'm always looking for life moments. Man, the late great Kobe Bryant, bro, when my man was on stage, my man was on the court, and then he tore his Achilles, but the Lakers was down, he still went limping to the free throw line and still hit the free throws to give his team the advantage. The cost of greatness. And so when it comes to like people like sharing their story, their message, you got to figure out what the
You got me fired up, though.
Yeah, you got to
go run through a wall right now.
And run with it from there. And so I tell people all the time, it don't even have to just be like you. Half the time when I'm speaking, I might talk about me. Sometimes I might not talk about me. I might talk about what somebody else is experiencing. You know what I'm saying? I might talk about you. If I was at a conference, bro, and they wanted me to talk about greatness, bro, I will put your picture up. But before I put your picture up with your cars and your beautiful family and y'all traveling to Dubai, you know what I would show them? Yeah. I would show them the junk removal truck you had. Yeah. I would show them the food truck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I would show them the Neo that was happy to make $30,000 a year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would show them that, and I would talk about all your work, all the sacrifice, the sleepless nights. I would talk about, you see his wife now, he blessed his wife with a new Lambo truck and all this stuff. myself, but you didn't see when they were sleeping, you know what I'm saying, in the truck together, when they were struggling, you know what I'm saying, when you was cleaning toilets, you know what I'm saying, for private jet companies,
Yeah.
but now you flying private jets.
Yeah.
The cost of greatness. And that's what people don't see.
Yeah.
People just see where we are now. They see the Instagram highlight reels. I told you before, bro, don't nothing move me. I love seeing all your posts, but don't nothing move my spirit and get my blood pumping than when you let people know, like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I come from the gutter.
Yeah.
I really come from the streets of Philly. I really struggle like that.
Yeah.
I really got it out the mud. I
Yeah.
really figured this thing out. I cracked the code. I really do be at masterminds. Like, I really do invest in myself. That's what got me here, the cost of greatness.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I tell speakers, it don't even have to always be about you. It could be about somebody else that inspires you, and you share their story. Does that make sense?
What you mean? I need to use that cost of greatness.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Hey.
Leonardo DiCaprio, when I saw him sleep in a dead carcass, I was like, okay, he doing the most. But that's why he win the most.
Ooh. Peep this. They said, was that Leonardo in Titanic?
Yes.
They said that water was really cold.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
they
But
said-
they subject themselves to that,
Yeah.
but that's the cost of greatness.
So I want to say the movie Emancipation I just heard, and I want to touch on this. They were saying like whoever Will co-actor was, the entire movie, he never spoke to Will and nobody. Like he was really the character the entire movie. And at the end, oh, what's up, man? Like after it was finally over, like I could talk to you now. Even Kobe, bro, they said Kobe doing 2-3 a days and watching film. Every day he watching film 3 to 5 hours a day. You Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Why are you watching?
Right.
You don't got to watch film anymore.
Right. But that's what makes him Kobe Bryant.
So how do you become, like, I got to get on that because, bro, when we talking this mindset to people, it's fluff, which is crazy to me. But are you born with that? Like, how do you develop that type of hunger? Because when I do look at the successful people, the LeBrons, the amount of time and energy they put in this, they are devoted to it. Like how do you develop that? Because I want people around me to be on that type time. You want this so bad.
Yeah.
How do you develop that? Like, is you born with that? Because I wasn't really born with that. I got to go get it. It was a few things that happened to me like, yo, I got to go. How do we turn people into that? Because now you operating at a different level.
So I would say this. The only thing I was born with was a belief system, bro.
Yeah.
I wasn't really born with a work ethic like that. I wasn't really born super brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, my man Crump likes to often say how I got triple mastery when it comes to like mindset. I learned that over the years. Bro, I was just born with grit, something that says, if he can do it, I can do it. I can't explain it to you, bro, but when I see people, I'm seeing someone like, oh, you did 100 million in a year? Like in my brain, I'm like, if it's possible for you, it might take me a little longer.
But I'm
you're
gonna
not
do
gonna outwork me. Eventually, I'm gonna be able to get there. I'm gonna put this investment together. I'm gonna start this company. I'm gonna scale and diversify my portfolio. Like I already know it's possible because I'm seeing another human. So that's the best thing I got, bro. It's my belief system. I really believe if you can do it, I can do it. It might take me longer. I might get there faster, right? But I can't explain it to you, bro. I really believe if I can do it, you know, if you can do it, I can do it. And so I surround myself with people like yourself that's doing great things. And we inspire each other, but that's how we continue to grow and elevate.
Yeah.
So I mean, so to anybody that's listening and they're like, yeah, well, I want to tap in with that. I want to have that. I want to experience that. It's like, okay, but do you believe?
Yeah.
Because I do trainings, bro. I be having workshops, and I might show my success, but I talk about 15 other people in our academy that's making $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a year speaking, 20, 30, 40 years old, but people still believe, oh, it's not possible for me. It'll never happen for you.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart, bro.
Yeah.
I remember one time one of my partners was like, bro, you so passionate. You want everybody to win. I'm like, bro, why not?
Yeah.
Like, everybody can win.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't know my biological father. My man has never been present in my life. I tried to reach out.
Is
not
he
interested.
alive?
Yeah, he's alive. He's not interested. I tried to reach out to his mama and other family, and they not interested. It's cool. Right? Like, I've gone through struggles. Like, I've been arrested over and over again. I pull kick doors, selling weed by the pound, drug and alcohol abuse, wake up to a bottle of Henny and blunts. Like, bro, I done been through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, I done been through it.
Yeah.
I ain't stay right there.
What made you get out of that though? Just I'm curious. I don't think I know that part. What was the turning point for you?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. At one point, I was in alignment with the Creator, and then I began to lose my way. And in my 20s, bro, I was just spiraling. I was wilding. I was all over the place, running nightclubs, moving work. And it's like every door closed. My Dope Connect got caught up with the feds. Two of my nightclubs ended up shutting down. Like everything wasn't working. And my grandma called me and she was just like, what happened to my grandson that was in high school, with ET, like ministering to people, pouring into people, like what happened? I was just like, man, grandma, people change. And she told me something interesting, bro. She was like, God can change you back. And I was just like, huh. And then she was like, God will forgive all the mess you've been doing and he'll still use you. And I was like, hold on, grandma. Like I could be forgiven, but all the work, all the bad stuff, like it's not possible for me to be used. And she was like, nah, God can still use you. Don't be so conceited in your sin where you feel like God can't use somebody like you. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
And redemption is possible for you. So that was a pivotal moment in my life, bro. So I got baptized, man. I started working on my character. I started working on my heart, my mind. I began to change my ways. I changed my environment, my circle of friends I was kicking it with. It's like, yo, I got love for y'all, but y'all are not really good for me. I'll tap in from time to time. I can't be at the studio. I can't be at the trap house. I can't be at the club. Like, I'm just going to stay right here in my house. And I figured it out. And it was hard, it was challenging, it was frustrating, but now I'm on the other side. Yeah. Because I realized it was possible. Again, when I realized it was possible, at one point I was like, this is really possible? Like, can I really hit the reset button? Can I really, like, be born again, be made new? And I realized, like, man, it is possible. You know what I'm saying? And that happens all throughout creation. Like, if you think about it, bro, like a caterpillar is born a caterpillar, but it goes through a process to become a whole nother creature, which is the butterfly. And so I realized, like, man, if a caterpillar can evolve and change, then me, with all this purpose in my brain and my intellect, like, I can grow and change. And so once I really believed it, I began to put that work in, bro. And everything for me changed from there.
Wow.
Ooh. Yeah, man.
That's powerful. Let me ask you this, because just something you helped me out, man. And we're still not doing it like we supposed to, but I believe we're going to begin. I'm going to get to $10 million a year off of just a curriculum. Like, and I'm talking about, I got it, because it's done already.
Yeah.
You helped me. You gave me the blueprint.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that was a blueprint. You gave me the blueprint on that.
Yeah.
All my curriculum's done. 3rd through 5th grade, 6th through 8th, 9th through 12th, completed, videos, everything.
Mm-hmm. Sidebar, we need to get with Ash. Let's
Yeah,
talk
we need to finish
and have our assistants get together.
Yeah.
We just need to put together a group chat because they'll make sure it gets done.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
Bro, how do I go to 10 million with the curriculum? Because you doing millions a year with just your curriculum. I want to get to 10 million with the curriculum. It's done already. What do I need to do first, bro?
So I'll tell you.
And really take this serious, because I haven't done it yet.
So you want to build your own internal sales team.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Right, because it's one thing for you to have ads and do marketing, and you doing trade shows and conferences, and you got people, employees to go there and promote it and put it out there, but you really want to have multiple people. So what we're doing is we're looking at the thousands of people that's in our Speakers Academy. I'm about to give you the hack, right?
Yeah, I need that.
I'm just like, okay, all of y'all that's in the educational space, I'm going to onboard you and train you, and now when you're in these schools, you can go and let them know about the curriculum, and you get a small percentage and a small piece. So my goal now is to have 400 or 500 people that's gone through my program, that's invested with me, that I trust. I know you're a good person. Yeah. I know you really care about people. We've seen your website. We see your track record. I feel good about putting my curriculum in your hands. Now I got 300, 400, then 500 people out here in schools sharing it, pushing it, promoting it, and then they get a percentage from there and everybody eats. So it's scalable, right? And so that's the one step. The next step for 10 million, which would actually be easier than you having a whole bunch of independent salespeople, is sponsorship. You got a nonprofit, right?
Yep.
I got one here and one in South Africa.
Yep.
Bro, it's the Robin Hood. Take from the rich, well, we blessed. So I'll say take from the super, super wealthy, those who got billions, and give to the poor. Yeah. So now you go and say, hey, organization, you know what I'm saying, you've got all these, you know what I'm saying, $14 million you need to spend something with. How about you sponsor these 50 schools in your local area? right? So go to car dealerships. I created a program called Driven for Success. And it's like, okay, every Mercedes-Benz, can y'all sponsor 3-4 schools? They want this curriculum. When George Floyd died, was murdered, and everybody saw it, everybody was saying, okay, what can we do? Well, if you really want to make an impact, there are these low socioeconomic schools. A lot of them are Title I, they struggling, but they can't afford the resources that my curriculum and your curriculum can bring. So how about you go in and sponsor them?
Yeah.
Sponsor the curriculum, change your life. So that right there. So you get with the right connect with IBM, Coca-Cola, you know what I'm saying, Chick-fil-A, you know what I'm saying, some of these billion-dollar companies, it's nothing for them to say, I'm a sponsor 100 schools in Arkansas. I'm a sponsor 100 schools. It's a tax write-off for them. It goes to your nonprofit, and now you're able to bless all of these schools, all of these kids, and we changing lives. And I know your heart, Neo.
Yeah.
Bro, we changing lives.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like we do that, but we're able to funnel those resources. And that's the same thing like I do with my nonprofit. As opposed to giving millions, you know what I'm saying, in taxes, I'm like, I'd rather put kids in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have to do something with the funds. So on my nonprofit, here's a hack. I'm not even on there. I'm on there as a spokesperson. My wife is really the head of our nonprofit. So now I can put whatever resources there, and legally and ethically, and now I bless a whole bunch of people because I'm not really in it. Does that make sense? So that's how you can scale 10 million with your curriculum.
How do you pricing curriculums?
So we just changed ours to where now if you get licensing, right, and you say, hey, I want to get it for the year, this digital product is $6,000 and they can have it for the whole school.
Yeah.
Because here's the cool thing, as you know, once you build out the curriculum and you got the digital version, it literally costs you nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You give them access, they can log in, the whole school can have it. But the sweet spot is when you say, hey, I would like for you all to sign a 3-year contract. And if you sign a 3-year contract, year 2, it's only $5,000. And then year 3, it's only $4,000. And so now it ends up being $15,000.
That still sound cheap too.
Yeah, super cheap. And it's digital because it don't cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Now, the sweet spot is when the school is like, hey, I want physical books. So I always get excited when they place a physical order, right? Because it's like, okay, if the average high school got 2,000 people and they got 2,000 students, they order 2,000 books, where our books are $25 per book, but we give you a 20% discount if you order it school-wide. So now you got 2,000 people and you got at $20 a book, that's $40,000.
Yeah.
And they come back every single year. Because, you know, that 9th grade book, now they need the 10th grade book. The 10th graders now need the 11th grade book the next year. And so I think I've gotten up to like over $40,000 from one school just off the curriculum. But the digital goes farther because they get online access. You don't make as much, but you ain't got to worry about printing and shipping books and all of that.
Yeah. And one outreach person can almost handle all of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have one person that's responsible for outreach, one person responsible for the
Sponsorship.
logistics and adding them on and onboarding them, another person specifically looking for sponsorships and partners.
And that sponsorship and partners is the way,
for
bro.
sure. And then, you know, as we build it out and you get more data, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these organizations is like, hey, I don't mind cutting the check for $185,000 or for $2.4 million to sponsor, you know what I'm saying, 40 schools in my local area and give back. And we're going to do a whole ribbon cutting ceremony. The news going to be there. It's a good look for them. They get their tax break and they're able to change lives. But sometimes they want that data.
Yeah.
And once you get that data and now they have a better understanding of how it actually works, that can be a game changer too.
Yeah.
And can I talk about that, bro? That's another way to supplement more income. Can I give your circle of greatness people that?
Yep.
All right, so this is what I'll say. I tell people all the time who are speakers, it's like, okay, you speaking. It's like, okay, you have a message. You got a story. Like, okay, that's cool. But how do you take it and continue to build upon it?
Yeah.
Bro, I just took one of my speeches. I took a few of my speeches from teachers and wrote a book called Next Level Teaching. Because I was heavy in the school space.
Yeah.
So for my first 10 years of speaking, I was in the school space. Middle schools, high schools, universities. I wrote a book.
That's when I met you. You were just going on tour.
Just on tour in schools. So I wrote a book, Next Level Teachers. Then I wrote a book called Next Level Parents. Because I realized, because I've engulfed myself. Again, we talking about being great, Neo.
Yeah.
But everybody don't want to really be great.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the Greatness podcast, but not embody what it takes to be great.
Yeah.
So I tell people you got to fully give believe yourself. So, bro, I remember talking to a superintendent one day, and she was in tears. She was like, man, the kids don't give me a hard time. The teachers don't give me a hard time. It's the parents. She's like, there's such a divide. Bro, I hired people that I trusted, and I said, I've got some concepts about what parents can do. Let's come together and we make a book.
Hey, what's up? You're looking at this video because you are enjoying the episode. What I need you to do right now, I need you to like, subscribe, and share this episode below. I'm not going to ask you for anything on this episode other than share this with a friend. My goal is literally for this to be one of the most impactful, one of the most powerful podcasts there are, that moves people into action and takes people from where they are to where they want to be. And one other favor I want to ask, can you leave in the comments below at least 2 to 3 different comments on your biggest takeaways, what you're loving the most, and one thing that you're going to do to push yourself closer to your goals and your dreams. So again, thank you so much for tapping in. Get back to the episode.
Then I got merch. Now I got the next level student shirts in schools, and they want it in their school colors with their names on the back. You know what I'm saying? Then I got the curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Then I got a video series. Then I got the next level teaching podcast. Like, I've totally engulfed myself in that space all those years.
Yeah.
And that's how I was able to rise to the top. So now I got people tapped in with the podcast. Now they want to come to conferences. Now they not just bringing me in to come to speak for their school, but they ordering, you know what I'm saying, 1,800 t-shirts with the school name on it, with our colors on the front. And now they branding me, because they got next level students, and now it's all over Twitter, and now other principals is like, I want a school takeover. I literally got schools that's like, Jeremy, we'll pay whatever your fee is, and we'll pay for the curriculum, and we want the next level teaching books, and we want the next level parent books, and we want t-shirts for our staff and our students.
That's $10 million extra.
Bruh, just on the side.
And not only that, the biggest piece of all that is the impact, because
Absolutely.
the curriculum in the school is garbage.
Oh, bro, it's bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The curriculum I created, bro, is fire.
Bruh, for sure.
It's literally everything you need to become an entrepreneur. You ain't going. You know when we learn about credit, Jay, after we already mess it up.
Absolutely. But you teach them early.
Yeah,
And
bro.
then with mine, it's SEL, social emotional learning.
Yeah.
So it's all about your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you balance the challenges, right? You grew up without your father. Somebody hurt you. Somebody took advantage of you. What are you doing with that rage on the inside? Every school in America needs that social emotional learning curriculum. Every school in America should have your entrepreneurship curriculum, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like we make these resources available for them, and we take it from there. But I tell people all the time, all right, so you speak, that's one thing. But you can take your message and turn it into a podcast, turn it into a book, turn it into a course, turn it into a curriculum. It's multiple ways to add value. See, people oftentimes think about what me and you do is we just adding and making money. No, we're making impact. Yeah. We're adding value, and it naturally comes back to us. Yeah. And it's smooth like that. And so that's why I'm excited about what we're doing with our partnership, with our curriculum. That can get very, very, very
huge, bro. We got to really finish that.
But that's why, and here's the thing for the record, everybody listening.
And it's been done for 2 years.
It's been done, right? And I got mine rolling, but him, and then we got a third partner, you know what I'm saying, that's all about financial literacy.
Yeah.
Bro, this is a game changer. But we just need to get our assistants together.
Yeah.
And
we need a project manager.
And that's it, yeah.
And it's over with.
Actually, here's the funny thing. I'm flying somebody in tomorrow, tonight. Where they coming in from? We flying them in tonight from Dallas, and we're looking at them being like our project manager. So that's something we can talk about. And we're going to meet for a few hours tomorrow. We'll take him and his wife to dinner, but we're looking at building an even stronger partnership to really share it. So, man, there's so many different ways to make impact.
Bro.
And you know who gave me the game on the curriculum?
Mm-hmm.
CJ.
Mm-hmm.
ET's right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Jay, you killing it in the schools, but make a curriculum to make a long-lasting impact.
Yeah. I want to be, bro.
Year, I didn't even execute that.
Yeah. I want to be, whatchamacallit. I haven't executed it like I should. I want to be, I forgot all the names, but it's about 5-10 names on the back of them school books. You know?
Oh, yeah, like McGraw-Hill.
That been around forever getting
forever,
it.
right.
We got to get in there. Like, I'm trying to be a lasting staple in the school district of, I want to be Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that book is a classic.
A classic, yeah. But you know what else is going to take for us to really go to that next level like that? Because now you're talking about $100 million.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about
10. That's just the basis. Like
right,
that's how I started. That's the basis. That's the
but
floor.
then we got to get into having lobbyists. Yeah. We got to get into people, you know what I'm saying, at Congress. Because when I look at some of my competitors that's got their curriculum in 20, 30,000 schools, I'm just looking at them like, man, I get it though. Because they got people who are sitting on their board as lobbyists. You know, they got congressional people. So as we grow in scale,
That's a
we
different
send some folks on
conversation.
vacations. We donate to their campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like we sow into them, but we say we need you on this end as well, so that when you're passing these legislations, you know what I'm saying, and we can sign up on this curriculum, like it goes farther. Because this curriculum game is very political.
Yeah.
When I first wrote my first curriculum in 20...
And people ain't doing curriculums, bro.
Right.
Nobody even talking about that.
Nah, nobody. And that's a game changer. Right? But when I dropped my first one, I paired it with a terminology that was very known in a lot of schools. But I remember I went to one school and they was like, oh, Common Core? Oh, well, can you take that off? Because my board would never approve this.
Yeah.
And I asked the superintendent why. They was like, well, my board looks at Common Core and they call it Obama Core. Because Common Core came from Obama's administration, and they were on the right, and they was just like, they don't rock with Obama, so we can't get the curriculum. Do you mind changing the cover? Yeah. I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
I ain't
Whatever
tripping.
you need.
I will reprint that cover and take that Common Core off. Let me get that check and bless these kids with this information. But I learned then how political it can be. So just know that next level is for us to hire and put the right people in place to take it even farther.
Yeah, I know we're about to wrap this up. What are you doing now to continue to build your team? You build a strong team.
Yeah.
The vision is casted. What are you doing to make sure that like everybody on the same page?
So for one, I'll say this, man. I am honestly, full transparency, still learning, still growing. Even as a CEO, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's times I roll up my sleeves and I want to get something done. Yeah. And Nicole, our chief operating officer, is like, bro, that's my job. Sit your behind down somewhere. But we do have a phenomenal team. We got weekly meetings. We pray before our meetings, bro. We get right to it. I let them know what my expectations are, and they run the play for there. And one thing that we've been implementing across our company is the aspect of over-communicating. Over-communicate.
I like that.
Like, I don't want to hear somebody say, oh, I thought, or last time, or I wasn't sure. We over-communicate. So now Stevan might text me something like, hey, we doing this. I'm like, come on, bro, you already know. He's like, hey, I'm just over-communicating. I'm like, So that's something that we're doing to make sure that we're all on the same page. So we have meetings all the time. You know what I'm saying? We weave God in it, but I really try to take care of those who take care of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And one I know that one just relationship advice. You are a relational person, bro. I think you do a great job with your wife, with your friends, with your family. Just it's always relationship with you. Just how important is that? How important is it? How are you continuing to develop that area?
You know, I really value really good, genuine people. I can't explain it, bro. Like, there are some people in our Next Level Speakers Academy community that are just so amazing. Like, a kid was one of them. I said, hey, we having a company barbecue. I feel like you should be here. Like, your energy is just so good. So I really value people. I really value relationships. You know, all my speaking engagements, we send them gifts.
Yeah.
So I don't just get that big check. I'm going to send you a big old edible arrangement.
You doing that before or after you get
Afterwards.
Okay.
So let me give you a hack real quick. Yeah. So if I speak on a Monday, I'm killing everybody talking about me Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, I got a big old edible arrangement, big old fruit basket, chocolate-covered strawberries, or a big assortment of pastries from a local bakery with a note that says, we hope these treats are as sweet as Jeremy's presentation. And they love it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So again, because we building relationships. Now, and then I send you a holiday card at the end of the year. So you get one. You get our annual holiday card with my family. But I also send that to the people who book me. Why would I send them a holiday card with my family on it as opposed to my company logo? I could send one with the Jeremy Anderson Group with some little snowflakes, happy holidays, but that's professional. Once you write a check to me, bro, we not professional. It's personal now. I'm going to show you my family. Happy holidays from Jeremy, Tracy, Jackson, and Jewel. And the difference is when it's professional, they say, oh, man, we got this company card from Jeremy. If we have the budget, let's bring him back next year. But when it's personal, they say, I don't care what the budget is. You make sure you earmark $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to bring Jeremy back next year.
Wow.
Because it's all about relationships. So I just know the value of taking care of those who take care of you. And in every relationship, man, I want to outgive.
I got to have I'm about to bring a new role in just for that. Whatever you're saying, that's just like a custom. That's like a.
Yeah.
relationship satisfaction.
Yeah, officer.
Executive.
Yeah.
For real.
No, for
Because
sure.
as you saying, I'm like, yo, when this podcast is done, I need a edible arrangement to be at their house tonight.
Oh, like how crazy is that? Yeah.
Ooh.
And it changes the game. And then people really feel appreciated, they feel heard, and now they wanted to do whatever for you. Bro, I literally, during the pandemic, I literally had principals and superintendents email me saying, Jeremy, send me a 15-minute video, motivate my staff, and I'm gonna send you $10,000.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
Yeah.
They was just like, bro, you've done so much for us. We got an extra budget. Can you just put together a 20-minute recorded video?
Yeah.
Send me a few videos and send me an invoice. Bruh, I'm thinking like they coming up with creative ways to send money to us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Because of the relationship. And so I feel like that goes a long way, man.
Yeah,
I don't feel like.
Yeah.
I know that goes a long way.
Wow.
And I really value people, and I believe you can't be God-given. And so in everything I do, I try to outserve, outlove, outsupport, you know what I'm saying, as much as I can, especially to those who take care of me and invest in me.
Outserve. That's good. Hey, bro.
it.
That's it, bro. Like, we got to come back for a part two,
for
really
sure.
only talk about the speaking business. But
yeah.
I wanted to really, I need to do that curriculum thing. So I'm happy you kind of re-energized it, but we got to do that. And I just want people to understand that you can really get paid from your pain, get paid from your story, get paid from whatever it is that you do.
Yes.
Anybody can do it. So just let the people know how they could tap in with you, brother. And thank you for just being on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, man. On Instagram, social media, it's @1 Jeremy Anderson, the number 1 @1 Jeremy Anderson. Websites jeremyanderson.org or nextlevelspeakersacademy.com.
Let's get it, y'all. Listen, again, this is my brother. Make sure y'all tap in, y'all. And again, as I say, I'm going to keep bringing you some of the best, some of the brightest, some of the greatest entrepreneurs that ever touch the stages on this platform to help you get to your next level. You know what I'm saying? So we see you guys on the next episode. Let's get it.